In this lesson, I'm going to look at the connections between ethnicity, ethnic minorities, and urban riots. Riots from the 80s, the 90s, and 2011. We understand some of the possible causes of the riots. Lots of key words here we'll go through during the lesson. So, typically, how does a riot occur? Usually there's a big event, often a death. So in 1995 in Tottenham, it was the death of Cynthia Jarrett. The police raided her home at dawn looking for, I think it was her son, and she had a heart attack. News spread to the community of what happened, and that caused the unrest. There's anger, there's a protest. So Mark Duggan, in 2011, after his death, the family protested outside the police station in Tottenham. Police turn up. Because of the protest, the police turn up. Now, the police are the people that the protesters are angry at. So trouble starts. And that trouble soon turns into a riot as the police are attacked. Then, all this gets reported in the mass media, on the TV news. And these days on BBM and Twitter, that sort of thing. And it quickly snowballs into 2 to 3 nights of rioting and looting, sometimes in one area, sometimes in a few areas. Now, commonalities, what have they all got in common? The urban riots we've had in Britain over the last 30 years to ethnic minorities, it's always been a death, and the police are in some way connected. Always a death, and the police are in some way connected. The riot is mostly limited to the areas the rioters live in. They smash up the place they live in. So it's against the police. This guy here is Keith Blakelock. He was murdered during the Tottenham riot in 1995. So the police are attacked. They're the big enemy, and the damage is done to the area the rioters live in. And the other commonality is it always happens in the summer. You never get riots in January. Now, for sociologists, this is the important thing, the underlying causes. A community or a group mistrusts the police, often ethnic minorities, often Afro-Caribbean community in Britain. They feel poor, they're powerless, and there's no what we call policing by consent. This here is policing by consent. This man consents, he gives his permission for the police to be in charge of him. Afro-Caribbean communities in particular, and poor communities, they don't feel like the police is on their side, they're against them. So I think I'll stop and search. So you've got this guy here, we look like it's in class, this guy here, we read his story here. He was attacked by the police when he tried to help them. And in the most recent riots, we've got the idea of materialism. In the most recent riots, 2011, there's a lot of looting, a lot more looting than normal. Now, we don't know whether that's because the media reported it that way, or maybe it's because our culture's changed and we're more materialistic than we used to be. So pinching stuff is more important to a lot of groups than it used to be. We don't know. But these are the underlying causes. A lack of policing by consent, a group that is poor and powerless, and they mistrust the police. The police feel more like an occupying army rather than one of them.